I saw all the doctors possible about MCAS and mast cell activation, and no one told me that I could beat it. But the reality is, I beat it. My daughter beat it. My clients have beat it. You can actually overcome mast cell activation. You have to understand what's actually causing it to overcome it, though. And the reality is your mast cells are overreactive. They're reacting for some reason. What is it? Well, it's because of something we're consuming, okay? Something we're inhaling, ding, 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 ding. Some stress, something we're doing. All these things affect the immune system. And if you have constant reactions to things, supplements, foods, all that, you have to investigate first into the foods and see which ones you can tolerate and start to build your diet off of that. The best foods to be able to build your diet off are going to be foods which boost regulatory T cells, since that is what's important for your immune tolerance. And the foods that boost regulatory T cells are plants. Foods with fiber, because when the bacteria break down these fibers, they produce short-chain fatty acids, which calm down the immune system, calm down the mast cells. So the reality is, if you're trying to beat mast cell activation, you can't beat it by eating carnivore. You can't beat it by just eating almost all animal products or eating processed foods or nuts or seeds or gluten or eggs or dairy every day. You're not going to beat it that way. The number two thing that you have to do to be able to overcome this is you have to identify if you are sensitive to mycotoxins in your environment. The number one way you could do this is you go to mymycolab.com. You get a blood test. It'll show you if you have developed an immune sensitivity to the mycotoxins in your environment. It doesn't matter if there's mold in your environment. What matters is if your immune system is perceiving that there are mold toxins in your environment and it's reacting to these. Because what happens is when you inhale over and over and over again, every time you inhale, if there's mold toxins, your immune system is recognizing it, and then the mast cells are secreting more and more histamine, more and more inflammatory molecules, and these are causing your symptom flares, okay? So if you are stuck with mast cell activation syndrome symptoms, you have to investigate the diet, like I said. Then you got to investigate the environment with the blood test. You could also just do a basic at-home indoor mold test, a petri dish test, if you don't have the $400 for the blood test, and that'll show you if you have black mold or you have aspergillus, you have stachybotrys in your environment. The third thing you need to do is you need to investigate what you're thinking, because most of the time people who have mast cell activation, what they have is chronic trauma, chronic stress, unrecognized stress that they haven't processed. They are still living in a story of fear, protecting themselves, trying to make sure that things don't go wrong. They're thinking about what happened in the past. They're trying to protect themselves from things in the future. They're constantly under attack in their own mind, okay? There's certain thoughts that they're thinking that keep putting them in this place where they feel threatened. And this is what I went through myself. I've seen this in countless clients. If you don't change the way you're thinking and start to expect a recovery, you're going to keep your immune system in a state of shock, which will keep it in a defensive state so it reacts to everything. So if you want to beat mast cell activation, work with someone who's actually been through it, not a doctor who just read about it. You got to change your diet. You got to change your environment. You got to change the way you're thinking, what you're doing, what you're believing. This is how you beat it. Reach out to me if you need help.